Hey guys, this is David from TheUnlockr.com, and this is the news ending on the week of January 19th, 2011. Okay, so first up is the Motorola Atrix 4G. Now this is a device that's heading to AT&T supposedly in Q1 of this year, and it was announced at CES, which is the Consumer Electronics Show in Vegas, earlier this month. It's one of the most anticipated Android phones to come out of CES, simply because it has a dual-core processor, it's got a 4-inch screen, it has 1 GB of RAM, it also has a neat little dock that you can put it in to make it kind of like its own little laptop with a keyboard and stuff, so that's pretty cool. The news that came out this week about this phone is that there's a possible release date. AndroidCentral.com had an anonymous tipster send in a screenshot of an internal AT&T screen that shows a very similar device that's launching on March 1st. Further corroborating the story was that a forum member on Android Central's forum a day earlier had also said that he had information that the Motorola Atrix was going to launch on March 1st. So this is still a rumor, but according to most of that, and Android Central, they think that it's probably going to come true, at least somewhere around that date. So any AT&T Android fans that are looking for that next-gen phone, think you don't have to wait too. Okay, next up is Congregate, which is a Flash games company that was bought by GameStop last summer, has announced that they're launching a Congregate arcade app. Now, if we even want to call it an app, because basically what it is it is the Android market, but only displaying their games. So basically you download this Android app, Congregate Arcade, from the market. You then open it, and then it displays all of their Flash-based games that you can download for free. I think there's about 300 of them right now. Now, this is kind of sneaky in a way because it gets them around having to promote each individual game in the Android market. They simply promote this one app. As soon as you download it, they then have all of their games competing against each other for discoverability, as opposed to competing against the flooded Android market. If you'd like to check out the Congregate arcade game, it is in the market right now. Feel free to go check it out and download it. Again, there's about 300 free games that are in there, but again, they're all running Flash. So if you don't have Flash on your phone, you can't run the games. Okay, this next bit of news might be interesting to a lot of developers out there, as coffee tends to run through their veins at all times. Basically what it is Starbucks is extending their mobile app trial to other locations. So basically what you can do is you can download the mobile app and connect it to a Starbucks card account, and whenever you go into Starbucks and you want to buy a latte or whatever, you basically just show your screen with a barcode on it to the barista. They scan it, and voila, your coffee is paid for, and it's deducted from your Starbucks card account. Now, right now, this app is only available for iPhone and iPod Touch devices, as well as BlackBerry devices, but they said Android is probably coming soon. To get this app, head to your respective app store and download it for yourself. Okay, the next bit of news is that Samsung has sent out a teaser of sorts. They sent out a flyer, which is basically an invitation to an event that they're hosting at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona on the 13th of February. The flyer just pretty much has a picture of the Samsung Galaxy S, and then next to it a silhouette of another phone that says "Evolution is Fate" right across it. I think it's safe to say that from this we can tell that it's going to be a successor to the Samsung Galaxy S, and judging by the evolution and all that, it's probably going to be a 4G version, because 4G is what all the carriers here in the States and overseas are talking about right now, how their 4G evolution is happening, etc. So I think that's pretty much what that's going to be. Now, I would also think it's safe to assume that the device is going to launch on multiple carriers for the fact that they're using the name Galaxy S and not Vibrant, Captivate, etc. So, which carriers, though, is something we're going to have to wait and see. Okay, last but not least is the HTC Thunderbolt. So this device was also announced at CES, the Consumer Electronics Show, earlier this month, along with the Motorola Atrix 4G and some of the other phones. This phone itself, though, didn't have some of the killer specs that we saw all the other phones have, but it did have one feature in particular that everyone is kind of interested in seeing, which is that it's going to be the first 4G phone to work on Verizon's new LTE network. Everyone's interested to see how fast that 4G runs on a phone, as opposed to the data sticks or the USB data dongles that they've been handing out. Now, the news with this device, since it was announced at CES and all that information was pretty much already known, is that there's some training information from Verizon that seems to be circulating across the internet. Why do you care? Well, if there's training information from a carrier, it's generally a rule of thumb that the device is not far off from being released. So if you've been waiting for your first 4G phone on Verizon, and you really just want that speed, this is the phone for you, and it should be coming out shortly. That's it for the news for this week. Feel free to please leave all your comments about the topics that we discussed, or even about the show, underneath this video on our site. We're still just kind of figuring out how the show is going to go, and we'd love to hear from you guys, what you guys would like to see, hated, etc. So that's it, and next week we're going to do another show recapping next week's news. On Wednesday, it's going to be released at the exact same time as this one, which should be about 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. See you then.